You know, in the world of retail media, we talk a lot about bids, budgets, and targeting. We kind of treat it like this complex game where the smartest algorithm is supposed to win. But what if the biggest factor holding back your performance isn't in your media dashboard at all? Today, we're going to dive into the hidden challenge that's really throttling your sales, the creative bottleneck.
Okay, let's get right to it with a really critical question for any brand leader or shopper marketer out there. You've optimized your bids, your targeting is laser-focused, and you're winning that prime digital shelf space. So, why aren't you seeing the sales lift you expect? This question right here, it gets to the very heart of a massive and frankly often overlooked disconnect in retail media strategy. So, the problem often starts with what we could call the myth of media first. The industry has sort of trained us to believe that the path to success is all about media optimization. We pour our time, our energy, and our budgets into tweaking campaigns, just hoping for that next little incremental lift. But that approach has a ceiling, and a lot of brands are hitting it hard.
We are all laser-focused on the left side of this chart, right? The bidding, the targeting, the pacing. And look, those things are the mechanics of getting seen. But the right side, that's the psychology of getting chosen. Real performance isn't driven by how you pace your budget. It's driven by trust and proof. It's not just about who you target, but about deeply understanding what that shopper actually intends to do. These are the things that convince someone to actually click Add to Cart.
This statement really says it all. Winning the bid just earns you the right to have a conversation with the shopper. That's it. But if your creative, your message, your image is irrelevant, that conversation is over before it even begins. You've just paid for an impression that made no impression whatsoever. So, if media optimization has a ceiling, what's the real bottleneck? Well, it's not your algorithm, it's your creative, the very assets that are supposed to be doing the selling for you. And here's why this is so absolutely critical. First, simple relevance is what drives conversion. If your ad doesn't instantly connect with what a shopper's there for, they just scroll right past. Gone. Second, the retailer algorithms themselves, they reward engagement. Better creative leads to more conversions, which signals the algorithm to show your ad more often, and you get this powerful flywheel effect. Third, trust isn't built with bids. It's built with proof points like star ratings and user-generated content right there in the creative. And finally, maybe the most crucial point, media can't fix a broken message. Pouring more budget behind bad creative just helps you waste money faster. Now, to be fair, there's a really good reason brands have underinvested here. Historically, producing relevant creative at scale has been incredibly slow and just plain expensive. I mean, these barriers of cost and speed were huge, but that is all changing, fundamentally. And this brings us to the breakthrough. The solution that finally shatters those old barriers is artificial intelligence. AI represents a fundamental unlock for creative production. It makes it possible to achieve a level of speed, scale, and relevance that was pretty much unimaginable before. So let's look at what this unlock actually means in practice. AI lets you scale creative at an incredible speed, generating dozens of variations for different audiences or seasons in minutes, not weeks. That, of course, brings massive cost efficiencies, but it also enables continuous learning. You can test creative variations with the same rigor you apply to media, constantly optimizing for what actually works. And finally, it allows for deep customization for every single retailer, from Walmart to Instacart. And this just changes the entire strategic conversation. The problem is no longer we can't afford to produce enough great creative. With AI, the new and much better problem becomes, how fast can we test all these creative assets and iterate on the winners? It's a complete shift from a resource problem to an optimization opportunity. So, how do you actually put this into practice? Well, it's not about just buying a new tool. It's about adopting a whole new operating model. This playbook outlines a future-ready approach for bringing AI into your creative process. The playbook has 5 core steps. First, you build creative factories, basically using AI to create an always-on pipeline of content. Step 2 is to experiment with your creative just like you do with media, applying rigorous A/B testing to all your variations. Step 3 involves developing systems to pull social proof and trust signals into your ads automatically. Step 4 is crucial. You have to foster a true partnership between your human strategists and the AI engine. And finally, step 5 is where it all becomes real. You reallocate your budget to fuel this new model. And let's be really clear on that human and AI partnership. This isn't about replacing people, it's about augmenting them. The AI's role is execution at scale, generating, testing, and scaling variants at a pace we've never seen before. This elevates the human role, freeing up your team to focus on what we do best: strategy, curation, brand compliance, and providing that essential creative direction that guides the entire process. The AI is the engine, your team is the driver. So here's where the rubber meets the road. It means making a tangible commitment. The recommendation is to reallocate 10 to 15% of your total retail media spend away from pure media and directly into AI-powered creative reinvestment. And don't think of it as a new cost. Think of it as fuel for the media engine you're already paying for. It just makes every single dollar you spend work that much harder. All right, let's bring this all together. When you stop seeing creative as just another cost center and you start treating it as your primary performance lever powered by AI, you fundamentally change your position in the market. This isn't just another optimization tactic. It's the new competitive advantage. This really defines the new reality of retail media. The brands that are going to win in this next era won't be the ones with the deepest pockets for ad spend. No, the winners will be the ones who move the fastest to reinvent their creative process with AI, turning their biggest historical bottleneck into their sharpest, most decisive advantage. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. As you look at your own organization, at your own retail media performance, ask yourself honestly, is your creative process a bottleneck holding you back, or is it becoming your sharpest advantage? The answer to that will likely define your success for years to come. Thanks for tuning in.